These new homes were built in what the developers of Otay Ranch call Village 2, and Spaniata Ingram has just moved in.
This area is just nice. The schools are good, the neighbors are good. I actually found out I worked with that neighbor. You met Bruce already. He's a great guy. One of my son's soccer teammates, they live right over on the corner.
But the homes being built now in Otay Ranch are different from the ones they built 10 years ago when the home market was booming. Stephen Hass is in charge of planning for Baldwin and Sons, the developer of many homes in Village 2. He says today's new homes are smaller and they're less expensive.
These are single-family homes on individual lots with their own private yards. And I think that is what is very desirable for many families. The American dream is still very alive. It just has been shrunken a little bit.
Lots today are smaller, and Hass says the square footage of the homes he's selling has dropped by about a third compared to the previous decade. The market has forced developers to lower prices but still provide an attractive product. They've tried to do that by using some innovative designs. One example is clustering homes in 6s and 4s. One of the most characteristic things about these home clusters is they only have one driveway. Why have only one driveway instead of 4 or 6? A shared driveway means the lots can be smaller. Kent Aden, an executive with Otay Ranch New Homes, says they also have less street frontage, and that means lower costs.
We reduce the amount of street that we have to build for each house, and we can save on construction costs, which means we can offer a lower price home.
But it's not just affordability. The shared driveway gives a home cluster a kind of common courtyard. Remember the cul-de-sac? Suburban developers have largely abandoned them because they were very impractical for moving traffic. But cul-de-sacs created protected streets for kids to play on, and they offered a central square where neighbors would gather. Aden says the shared driveway is the new cul-de-sac.
By doing this, you're creating that cul-de-sac environment without having a cul-de-sac, and it gives a lot of hard surface for kids to play on.
It's something that Ingram can confirm.
My youngest son comes out with his basketball. He can be right here, right inside. Everybody's respectful, so not worry about anybody speeding up in my driveway.
Neighbor Bruce Bjornson says he often works in his garage, which faces that common courtyard known as the driveway.
I'll have my garage door open like I might be doing something, and like again, the guys behind me and stuff, they'll come out and walk by, and so we'll just stop and talk for a while.
Urban planners say not having one driveway for every home means home fronts become a more dominant feature on the street. They're also featuring home fronts in Village 2 in a very old-fashioned way, the use of alleyways as a place to store cars and garages in the back. But price remains the dominant factor in any buyer's decision. Ingram and Bjornson bought their homes for between $380,000 and $420,000. Mark Goldman is a business lecturer at San Diego State and a mortgage broker. He says those prices are just a bit higher than the median home price in San Diego County. And that's a good deal because people will pay more for new homes. Why will they?
Why do people buy new cars? I don't mean to respond with a question, but a lot of people just like having that new original bathtub, that new original room, that new home where no one has lived before. People will pay a premium for that.
In its heyday, Otay Ranch was selling about 1,000 homes every year. Even now that sales have picked up a bit, only about 100 a year are being sold. At some point, housing demand will cause home sales to rebound to something more akin to pre-recession levels. But Stephen Hass says the housing bust has caused a fundamental change in home design. The days of the McMansion are behind us. He tells of one San Diego man who moved to Temecula to buy a bigger house.
And I asked him how he liked living up there, and he said he hated the commute. He had a house so large that there were some weeks he did not even go into some of the rooms in his house. Now imagine that we bought homes that we don't even use anymore. Would you buy something and put it in your closet and never wear it or use it? Well, we had a tendency to do that as a society, and now we're becoming more realistic about what our needs are.
Meanwhile, Spaniata Ingram is just happy to be home.
Welcome to my neighborhood.